Jamie Foxx said, what did I do? Jamie Foxx just got out of the hospital. We was just trying to figure out whether or not Jamie Foxx was being paralyzed or whether it was the jab that had got to him and that was affecting his life when he allegedly had got sick on a set of a movie set and then he had to put his career on hold in order to try to recover. Jamie said, what I do? Jamie has played his role in everything that's happened throughout society. He dressed up like Wanda. He did some good movies. He did Ray. And then he did some bad movies. One of them was Whitney Along. I ain't forgot. That one where he was a cop. And Cassie then went ahead and messed up all of the money. All of the money. Blame Puff. Blame Puff. Blame Puff. Blame P. Diddy. I think it's Diddy's fault. I don't think that it's Jamie's fault. I think it's Diddy's fault. Let me bring you up to speed of what's happening with Jamie, and then we're going to go through the 15-page document.
The window is closing for New Yorkers.
That's what it was called. It was called bait.
That took place
it was
outside
called
the
bait.
usual statute of limitations. The Adult Survivors Act is set to expire this week. Fox 5's Linda Schmidt live in our newsroom with more on this. Linda.
Yeah, hi there, Teresa. Well, first of all, tonight, the law has given survivors of sexual abuse the right to file civil lawsuits in the past year for alleged abuse that happened in some cases decades ago. And some of these cases have been filed against Donald Trump, movie mogul Harvey Weinstein, hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs, and tonight, actor Jamie Foxx. E. Jean Carroll used the Adult Survivors Act to win a $5 million civil lawsuit against former President Donald Trump, accusing him of sexual assault and suing him for defamation. Disgraced New York gynecologist Robert Haddon was sentenced to 20 years in prison in July for sexually abusing some patients. Last month, hundreds more filed suit using the New York law. Just last week, hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs settled a lawsuit with R&B singer Cassie after she claimed Combs raped and abused her. And now, actor Jamie Foxx has been accused in a civil lawsuit of sexually assaulting a woman in New York City back in 2015. These high-profile cases and thousands more are the result of Governor Hochul signing the act into law 1 year ago.
Yeah, shout out to our female governors that said that no stone will go unturned in making sure that we hold these gentlemen accountable. Your female governor said that New York stands with survivors, but never did you think that it was going to affect you. We don't know who's telling the truth. We don't know who's telling a lie. But the one thing that we do know, and two things is for certain, is that it's affecting everybody over there in New York. If you was over in New York at any time in your life before Turkey Day, you had another thing coming. You didn't think it was going to affect you. You just thought that you had a good time. You were shaking and moving and having a good time, and she was there for it or whatever, or at least you thought so. And so they said that, no, hold on. Back in 1993, I vaguely remember, this is what happened to the people. Back in 1993, I remember this is what happened to the people.
Giving survivors an opportunity for justice.
They want history to reveal what happened to them. They don't want their abusers to get away with it.
Attorney Megan Goddard represents multiple women. The Adult Survivors Act also goes after corporations, businesses, and organizations that cover up for the alleged abusers. But the special legislation expires this week. Goddard wants Albany to extend it.
There's people who are calling me this week who just found out about it for the first time.
They are trying to get this whole thing. They trying to remix the law. It expired last night at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And they are, listen. I try to tell you guys, before we get into this whole Jamie Foxx situation, I keep telling y'all that no one man is above the group. Y'all keep throwing each other under the bus and saying, hey, that's his problem. That's his problem. Anybody can be accused. Anybody can say anything that they want. Listen, what evidence do you have from 1993 that would substantiate that something did happen, and why are you taking so long in order to say it? Listen, There is no one man that can stand above the group, because what happens to one happens to all, and they band together to continue to do the thing that's in their best interest, talking about they just now found out about the law for them to be able to get some money in a lawsuit. So you didn't miss what happened to you in reporting it. You just now figured out that you can get some money as a result of it. Okay. Let's continue.
After Sean Combs was sued, they're living in Florida or California or Missouri or wherever. They don't know what's going on in New York. They didn't hear about this law.
A penthouse model is now suing Guns N' Roses.
We gonna get there. We gonna stop right here, and we gonna get to Guns N' Roses. Don't worry about it. We gonna get there. Let's go into this Jamie Foxx lawsuit. It's not as long as the one that was filed against Diddy. Cassie said, I'm coming for everything when she went against Diddy. Diddy one was 35 pages. This one is 15. I think that we can get through it fairly quickly in order to emphasize what Jamie Foxx is being accused of. It says, to the above named defendants who are Jane Doe, so they don't even have to identify what their name is, against Eric Marlon Bishop. So a lot of people are not familiar with the idea that Jamie Foxx is not his real name. It's Eric. Shout out to Eric Bishop, a.k.a. Jamie Foxx. Catch NYC and Roof, the business that he allegedly did it in. Catch NYC Incorporated, Mark Burnham. Catch Hospitality Group, 25 9th Avenue Corporation, LLC. Names being fictitious, intended for unknown names of the staff and other defendants. All right, so let me go ahead. You're hereby being summoned to answer this complaint and action served on your behalf. Let's go down to the good stuff. Those are all of the people. Jamie Foxx out there in Ventura, California. Come on, fly back to New York and come get this work. That's what she said. That upon information and belief that at all times relevant hereto, defendant Eric Marlon Bishop, a.k.a. Jamie Foxx, was and still is a resident of Ventura, California, Ventura County, state of California. In 2015, so they're alleging that this took place on or about on August 26, 2015, at a rooftop lounge and bar located on 21 9th Avenue in New York. All right, let's go down. They name all of the defendants, conducting business, proper unsafe manner. Cool. Let me go down. See, we're going to be able to skip through most of this. Most of this is just naming the defendants. All right, statement of the facts. This is what we want to get to. This matter is filed timely as it is brought pursuant to the Adult Survivors Act, and this is the reason that they filing it. It said, notwithstanding any provision of the law which imposes a period of limitation to the contrary and the provisions of any other law pertaining to the filing of a notice of claim or a notice of intention to file a claim as a condition precedent to commencement of an action or special proceeding, every civil claim or cause of action brought against any party alleging intentional or negligent acts, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so let's get to the real stuff. The defendant's actions described herein all occurred when a plaintiff was over 18 years old and brought within the time frame of the Adult Survivors Act. On or about August 25th, 2015 at 11 p.m., the plaintiff and a friend, Jamie Foxx, arrived at 21 9th Avenue for the purpose of getting seats at a rooftop lounge and bar. Upon being seated, the plaintiff noticed the defendant, Mark Burnham, was seated, right? The person that is alleging that this happened to them, they noticed that Mark was seated one table away having drinks with the defendant, Eric Marlon Bishop, a.k.a. Jamie Foxx. And not long after being seated, the plaintiff and her best friend or her friend observed a large crowd growing around Burnham and Fox's table. As a result, the defendants, Jane and John Doe's, began moving a crowd of patrons away, including nearly all of the patrons seated at the tables near them. So they at the rooftop. They noticed that the homie go over there and kicking it with Jamie Foxx, right? Jamie Foxx and them is having a good time, and they started to notice a crowd is starting to come around them. Despite being the only two remaining in the area, the plaintiff and her friend were never asked to move from their table located beside their table, Jamie Foxx's table. Okay, this is what's being alleged. They go on to say that at some point near approximately 1 a.m., so they out there for at least 2 hours, around 1 a.m. on August 27, 2015, after many patrons had left the area. The plaintiff's friend stood up from the table and walked over to Jamie Foxx and asked if he would take a picture with her. And then Jamie Foxx says, "Sure, baby, anything for you. Sure, baby, anything for you." And walked to the plaintiff's table. Several photographs were taken. They took a bunch of selfies. This is in 2015. All right. While taking the photographs, the plaintiff observed that Foxx seemed intoxicated, so he had been drinking all night, throwing them back. And at one point, he grabbed the plaintiff's phone out of her hand and he took some more photographs. So he flicking it up, taking a selfie. Right. Jamie Foxx says, "Hey, let's get it in. Hey, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. We've been drinking, having a good time. Y'all looking cute, and y'all asked me to take some pictures. All right, blame it on the alcohol. Blame it on the alcohol." All right, so that's what Jamie Foxx did. It says Foxx roughly, now this is when we start to get to the caps. This is when we start to get to the capping. Foxx roughly grabbed the plaintiff's phone out of her hand and took additional photographs. So he beat you up for your phone when you the one that asked for the photographs. All right. Foxx then made several comments to the plaintiff, including, "Wow, you got that supermodel body. You smell so good. You look like Nikki." Now, I don't know who Nikki is, but 2015, who is Nikki? Who knows? He said when the plaintiff asked, "Who's Nikki?" Foxx replied, "Gabrielle Union," then proceeded to grab the plaintiff by her arm and pull her back to the back area of the rooftop. So he grabbed her. She didn't willingly go, according to this. He said, "You look like Nikki." And the plaintiff asked, "Well, who is Nikki?" He said, "Gabby Union." Wait a minute. You telling me that Jamie could have got with Gabby before Dwayne Wizzy? I don't know. So then he said he grabbed her arm after they went to, and he grabbed her over into the back area of the rooftop at over 1 o'clock in the morning. And then once more in a secluded area, Foxx placed both of his hands on the plaintiff's waist. And he said, "Blame it on the alcohol." Move them under the plaintiff's crop top and begin rubbing on your titties. He said, grabbed her hand, went over into the other side of the rooftop. Other people was out there. She never said anything or made a complaint. And then she let him grab on her waist, slim waist, pretty in the face, and start moving his hands up. And then start grabbing on them titties. This is what it's saying. I'm just reading what the complaint is alleging for the lawsuit that was filed against Jamie Foxx for her crop top. The plaintiff was caught off guard in the I'm sorry, give me a second, y'all. Let me gather. Plaintiff was caught off guard and attempted to step away. So she stepped with him, but now she's stepping away from him. She said, "Well, I don't even like Jamie Foxx. I've been listening to R. Kelly. Step, side to side. Turn around, break it down. And let me see you do the love slide. Step, side to side." She said, "I don't even like Jamie Foxx. I listen to R. Kelly. I'm trying to step to the side. Step in the name of love." And then she says, plaintiff noticed the defendant, John Doe, a security guard of one of the defendants some distance away who saw what was happening, but walked further away. Foxx proceeded to slide his hands into the plaintiff's pants and put his fingers on and in the plaintiff's tush. So wait. He put it in the VV and the AA? Woo! So wait a minute. You tried to step, side to side. Jamie Foxx grabbed your hide, and then he put his hands down in your vajayjay, allegedly, and he went from the vajayjay back to the back of the back. And as this was happening, according to the report, plaintiff's friend walked over looking for the plaintiff, and Foxx stopped touching the plaintiff and walked over to where the defendant, John Doe, a security guard, was standing. Not touching on the Duke shoot. Rebuke the Duke shoot. He said that no negligence or intentional acts on the part of the plaintiff caused or contributed to the said heinous touching. Heinous. Look at that adjective. Heinous touching and sexual assault of the plaintiff. That by reason of foregoing, plaintiff was injured and rendered sick, sore, lame. Listen, dog, you cannot make this up. You got to look at what this is. Plaintiff was injured, rendered sick, sore, lame, and disabled, and had to undergo medical treatment and advice. Was unable to pursue her usual and regular activities, was caused to undergo great conscious pain and suffering because he touched my tatas and my babas, and continues to undergo such and will permanently be affected by the injuries and this emotional distress she incurred as a result of the assault, abuse, assault, and battery. So you're telling me that Jamie Foxx didn't do nothing but touch you according to this lawsuit, and this has caused you to be permanently disabled and affected by the injuries, so much so to where you're lame and disabled, and you have to seek and undergo medical treatment for the rest of your life because you're permanently affected by the injuries and emotional distress she incurred as a result of the sexual assault, abuse, and assault and battery. I'm not here to say whether I believe it or not. I'm just here to break down the what's being alleged here and then let you guys determine for yourself how you feel about this whole thing, okay? That, as a result of the heinous acts, negligence, and gross negligence of the defendants as foresaid, plaintiff suffered and continues to suffer emotional distress, anxiety, humiliation, embarrassment, post-traumatic stress disorder, and other physical and emotional damages according to the file in the complaint that was levied against Jamie Foxx when he was on a rooftop of New York. But most importantly, the plaintiff is entitled to recover damages from the defendant in an amount that exceeds the monetary limit. Let me make sure that I read this correctly. In the amount that exceeds the monetary limit of all lower courts that would have jurisdiction over this matter, plus punitive damages. This cause of action falls within one or more of the exemptions set forth by CPLR 1602. The plaintiff repeats and realleges the allegations of paragraphs 1 through 47 as though same were fully set forth in the length therein. That on the night of August 25th, 2015, and into the early mornings of August 27th, 2015, and at all times herein mentioned, that defendant Foxx, operating through his position as a well-known celebrity, committed the heinous acts as set forth above, and these unlawful actions constitute a sexual assault and battery upon the plaintiff, as Foxx intentionally and without consent used force and offensively touched the plaintiff's person And Foxx's action violated the New York Penal Law 130.52, 130.55, and 130.65. Foxx's actions were willful, wanton, and malicious, according to the plaintiff. And at all times described herein, Foxx consciously disregarded the plaintiff's rights and feelings and acted with the knowledge of or with reckless disregard. And for the fact that his conduct would cause the plaintiff to feel violated, humiliated, and would cause the emotional, mental injuries to plaintiff and would result in her enduring pain and suffering. I don't know how I can continue. Not like this. Not like this. And as a result of Foxx's conduct described herein, plaintiff has suffered and continues suffering physical and emotional injuries, anxiety, distress, embarrassment, and economic harm. I don't know why I hate what is going on in these. And the plaintiff is claiming and is entitled to recover all applicable damages, including but not limited to damages for pain, suffering, economic loss, as well as punitive damages in an amount that exceeds the jurisdiction in all of the lower courts of the land. Okay? Now, I'll repeat and I'll reallege that the allegations in paragraphs 1 through 52, as though they were fully set forth at length therein. And everybody that was a part of it, the organization, Mark and all of them and all of the homies and everybody that has something to do with it, we want you to pay up. That's what they are saying. They remix this law so that they can make sure that they recover all of their pain and suffering damages. And according to the punitive laws, everything above whatever the lower courts can offer you, we need more than that. Okay? All right? How to observe when a patron such as Foxx has consumed an excessive amount of alcohol and should not be served any more than in otherwise ensuring the safety of their patrons from unwanted abuse, abusive sexual touching. Catch NYC and everybody else is at risk too. We want everything. We want it all. We want it all. Because I didn't even like him anyway. I was liking R. Kelly at the time. All right? And then the attorney goes on to say that he is verifying that this to be true. And he wants damages and lawyers' fees to go along with it to the tune of $1 trillion. All right? So that is what they are alleging that happened at the rooftop of Catch at 1 a.m. after only asking to take a picture. And then I'll leave it to you guys to be able to communicate to me what you think really happened in these streets.